Good morning, beautiful mamas. I'm hopping on today to chat with you a little bit about resilience. We hear a lot more about resilience these days when it comes to helping support our children in building resilience. But I don't know about you. I never learned about resilience when I was growing up. And so as a mom, I'm currently kind of nourishing that learning and getting to know some ways that I can build my own resilience so then I can help my son build his as well. So we're going to start with the most basic, and that's a definition of resilience, and that is how well we adapt to the events of our life. At its simplest, that's what resilience is. And what I love when I'm learning about new things like this is looking to nature to see if nature provides us with some of the wisdom around the answers to these questions of what is resilience and how can I build it in myself and in my kids. And so today we're going to chat a little bit about trees. And they're one of my favorite cues for wisdom when it comes to these types of questions. And so when we look at trees and the events of life that trees experience, we can talk about it as the weather. So what type of weather does a tree adapt to or respond to, or how does a tree respond to shifts and changes in the weather around it? What we'll do now is keep it simple. We'll come back around in a couple of weeks probably and chat more deeply about trees and how they shift through the seasons of the year, and for us how we can shift through those seasons as well to build our resilience. But like I say, we're going to keep it simple today. So let's keep it simple with the weather. When it comes to the weather that trees experience, anything from warmth and sunshine through to rain, those all contribute to growth. And so whether it's what we think of as the positive, the warmth and the sunshine, or the more challenging, the rain, there's always some wisdom and some growth potential there. And when it comes to the trees and the weather, it's that support that helps them to root further in and further out in the ground, but also flourish up above. And so for us, it's the positive and nourishing experiences that can help us build our resilience. But there's also some goodness and some wisdom in those challenging experiences. So in that rain. And even if it is a challenging experience and we can't sort out what the wisdom is that's there that can help us build our resilience, we can ask for help in doing that. So whether it's a friend or a family member that we can talk through it and sort it out, or maybe it is a trusted healthcare provider or a counselor that we can talk with and sort it out. There are always ways of taking a look at those challenges, taking a look at that rain and bringing it in and really understanding what's the wisdom in here and how can it help me build my resilience, okay? Now, the other key to this weather for the tree is that the tree has to be sort of open to receiving and absorbing what's coming from the warmth and the sunshine and the rain. So we have to be open to receiving what goodness is there, no matter whether it's a sunny experience or a rainy experience. The other thing that I wanted to chat about when it comes to the wisdom from the trees is connected to how trees survive during really big storms. So how we experience those really big storms in life and how we can come out them on the other side and by looking at how the trees do it themselves. So there's this really neat piece of research that I was looking at that was done in the southern United States that looked at urban forests after 10 different hurricanes. And they wanted to understand what helps make a tree more wind resistant, or with what we're looking at today with resilience, what improves a tree's resilience, how it adapts to that challenge when it experiences an intense storm. So 3 interesting things that I want to share with you today. The first is that the trees that were growing in groups survived strong winds better than the trees growing individually. And this really speaks to community and the importance of building a community around us as moms. No matter what stage of mothering you're in, whether it's early on and you're going through your pregnancy, whether it's early postpartum or later on in the process, having a community around us helps us to build our resilience and supports us in how we adapt to all of the different events that come into life. So for the trees, the ones that grew in groups survived those strong winds, those strong storms better than the ones who were there individually. The second thing that I wanted to mention from this study and this wisdom from the trees is that the trees that had an increased amount of rooting space and depth improved their survival. So those trees that were rooted down deeply and outspread had a better survival. And so as we're going forward in the coming weeks, we're going to be chatting about some different tools and techniques that you can use for your own rooting. Sometimes you hear it called grounding, things that help us feel right here, right now, that help our feet feel on the earth and help us better cope with what's going on around us. Okay? And the third thing with the trees is that the healthier trees, the trees that were regularly tended to, had better survival. So what does that mean for us? When we are regularly tending to ourselves as moms, supporting our health and vitality and energy, no matter the season of mothering that we're in, that improves our strength and our ability to be resilient when those storms of life come along. So that's it for today. A little bit about resilience and about what the trees around us can teach us about resilience. I hope that you found this helpful. And as I said, as we're moving forward in these videos over the coming weeks together, we're going to be looking at tools and techniques and resources for you to be building your own resilience, no matter where you're at in your mothering journey. Take good care. Have a most wonderful day.